Hey there, race fans! Welcome back to Track Talk. It's Margaret Rachel, your go-to for all the drama, action, and spicy debates in Formula One. And trust me, today's topic is extra spicy. So, Max Verstappen, the guy's just wrapped his fourth straight championship with Red Bull. No surprise there, right? Except this year it wasn't all smooth sailing for Max. Red Bull wasn't the fastest car on the grid, and yet still he managed to secure the title 2 rounds early. But here's the kicker: Max goes on to say that he would have done it in a Ferrari, in a McLaren, and so on. A Ferrari? Naturally, Charles Leclerc had a little something to say about it. Oh, it's heating up, folks. Let's get into it. Alright, so let's break this down. Max Verstappen, fresh off his Vegas victory, casually claims he could have won the championship in a Ferrari this season. Bold statement, right? Now, don't get me wrong, Max is an incredible driver, but Ferrari hasn't exactly been the most consistent team this year. Sure, they're in the Constructors Championship fight, but they're not Red Bull. They're definitely not McLaren, who's had a stellar season in the second half. With Lando Norris leading the charge. But Max being Max, he's got confidence oozing out of him. I mean, he's not shy about saying he's the best, and honestly, can you blame him? 4 titles in a row to, speak for themselves. Still, the idea of winning in a Ferrari this season, now that's a bold flex, and he also mentioned that he would have done it in the 2022 season as well. And then we have Charles Leclerc. Charles, the guy, is smooth on the track and with his words. When he was asked about Max's claim, he didn't hold back. Leclerc basically said, look, Max is an amazing driver, no doubt about it, but claiming you could win the title without actually driving the car, now that's a bit of a stretch. And you know what? He's got a point. Ferrari hasn't exactly been a walk in the park this season. Remember the strategy blunders, the pit stop that had us all screaming at our TVs. Charles has had to fight tooth and nail just to stay in the mix, and Carlos Sainz hasn't had it easier either. If you take the 2022 season as well, it's the same story. Plus, as Charles pointed out, Max doesn't know the Ferrari, just like Charles doesn't know the Red Bull. It's easy to say you'd win in another car, but actually doing it, now that's a whole different story. Let's take a step back and look at Ferrari's season. They've been good, don't get me wrong, but not great. They've had flashes of brilliance, like Charles' win in Monaco, win in Monza, and Carlos's podiums as well as his wins. But consistency, now that's where they've struggled. Ferrari's pace has been solid at times, but the strategy calls been a problem since 2022, or even earlier than that, but it was very, very evident in 2022, and they haven't been able to dust that off this year as well. It's like they're playing darts with their eyes closed. One weekend they're on it, and then the next complete chaos. And let's not forget McLaren. Lando Norris has been Max's closest rival all season, not Charles, not Carlos. Ferrari's been in the mix, sure, but they haven't been the team to beat. Okay, so let's circle back to Max's claim. Could he really win the title in a Ferrari? Honestly, it's hard to say. Max is insanely talented, and he's shown that he can extract performance out of any car, but even he would have struggled, in a Ferrari's inconsistent season. Their inconsistencies and the other issues that they faced in their performance. So, plus winning a championship isn't just about the driver, it's about the team, the car, the strategy, the reliability. Red Bull has all of that down to a science. They did really better. Ferrari, they're still figuring it out, should say. And let's not forget about the competition now. Lando Norris and McLaren have been on fire. In the second half of the season, Mercedes has been solid. Even Aston Martin had a few surprises early this season. It's not like Max would have had a clear path to the title in a Ferrari. At the end of the day, Max's claim is, well, classic Max. Confident, maybe a little cocky, but Also a reminder of just how good he is. And Charles, he's not wrong to, push back. Ferrari's had their struggles, and it's not fair to downplay the challenges Charles and Carlos have faced this year. But here's the thing, this debate highlights why we love F1. It's not just about the cars or the drivers, it's about both. It's about how everything comes together or doesn't. So what do you think? Could Max Verstappen really win the title in a Ferrari this season? Or is Charles Leclerc right to call it a stretch? And also, what do you think about him in a McLaren? With the second half of the season, same deficit that Norris had to Max. Would that have been possible as well? Or is it again a bit of a stretch? Let me know your thoughts. Hit me up on the comments. And that's it for today's episode of Track Talk. Thanks for tuning in. And as always, stay fast, stay curious. And I'll catch you next time. See ya.